Hello to those in the room. My name's Ben. It's nice to meet you all, to see you in person. Hello to those of you at home. As Kevin will tell you, I like being interrupted. So if you've got any questions, anything that you want to add particularly, you should never start a presentation saying you're not an expert on the material, but I'm not an expert on the material. I'm not sure there are that many people that are at the moment. So if you've got anything to add, if there's anything that you might have seen that prompt, anything you see that prompts an idea, then just shout out. The same goes for you guys who are watching online. Michelle has full permission to wave at me, as has Kevin. So if you've got any questions, pop them in the chat and we can chat about them. So the title for this presentation is How Far, How Fast? The Accelerated Path of Video and AI Generated Content. We'll come back to that in a minute because first of all, a little bit about me, and though I'm not quite an expert on all of this, I know quite a bit about it because I've been in the video production industry for 18 years as far as my video production company Chuff Productions has been around. My background is in broadcast, so both in front and behind the camera. So used to video technology and seeing where it's come from. I was actually a development presenter in one of Sky TV's very first green screen virtual studios that was used in one of their revenue generating channels. So when they had a new idea for a game, I was the guy they stuck in front of camera to try it out and see if it would work, and trying to work out where things were. As far as a video production company, we make marketing and sales videos, and we make training videos as well, which is best really just to show you. Yes, we're famous for our fun guarantee. If you don't have fun with us, we'll give you £100 to go and have fun on your own down the pub, which we've never really had to go through on as yet, touch wood. So how far, how fast? The accelerated path of AI generated video content. And this presentation really all came about because of a video I'm going to show you in a minute. And the thought writing this first presentation back in April was how far. Well, we're going to go a long way with it because lots of people are screaming and shouting about it, and we're going to get there very fast. By the time we get to the end of this presentation, we'll see if those two things ring true. You've probably all seen diagrams like this before of all the different things and apps and stuff that are out there that include AI, nicely broken down into productivity, video marketing. We'll zoom in on the video one, which was already out of date in April, is definitely out of date now, but all those different things that are coming along to help out with video production and video content. We've always, when working in training video and learning material, it's all about for us making it engaging. Kevin and I worked with each other for over 10 years. Actually, we were making videos for Kevin when he was at Forge Rock. And the whole point was trying to get people to watch them and stay engaged. So that's always where we come from. This presentation for you today is all about where AI video driven content is going to go to and how it might help you create your content, or how we may discuss, we can have a chat about it. What content is it actually going to make for you? And how realistic is it to be making that kind of content now? Now, as far as video created by AI at the moment, and when we talk about this, I'm talking really about text prompt to video or photo to video. These are the three main companies that are kind of out there at the moment which are getting involved. They seem to have risen to the top. Pika, Runway, and Sora. And just to give you an idea on where these have moved, this is from April time, and the prompts that we gave to Pika was a man stands in front of a PowerPoint presentation in a hotel conference room with an audience of 102 people, because that's how many people had registered for the event, and we wanted to make it as relevant and as realistic as possible. This is what we got. See, it's a hotel conference. It's there. Obviously, there's lots of limitations on these kind of things. One of them is being the length of the video. Most of these things are only kicking out 2 to 10 seconds. Also, the video resolution as well. I've got a slide that talks a little bit to that a little bit in a few slides' time. This prompt then slightly changed. And man gives a presentation. Oh, no, it's the same with a PowerPoint presentation from a hotel conference. And this is what Runway Gen 2 did this week. So this looks a little bit different and a little bit more realistic. But what I'll do is I'll knock that slide back again. If you have a look, particularly in the room, you'll see it on the left-hand side. You should see it online as well. Have a look at the people in it and the faces. Particularly if I hold the still there. So it's, you start off thinking something looks pretty cool and pretty realistic, and then you start to look at the faces. So it has got some way to go. This, of course, is on, well, not of course, but this is on the free model. It's not on any of the paid models at the moment. When we get into the prompt to image generation, things start to change a little bit. So this is an image taken from a real situation. It's been taken off the internet, and this is what happens when we turn on Runway Gen 3 Alpha Turbo. It's a mouthful, isn't it? This is what we get. So this was generated purely from the image. What do we think?
Best so far.
Yeah, best so far. Watch, I'll play that again. Keep your eye on the guy, obviously the guy that's talking, and keep your eye on the podium. Oh, there's his friend. Oh, he's disappeared. Oh, he's gone. So this is kind of the issue that's going to be. What is noticeable when you do play around with these things, though, is that you can start to really improve things just by fine homing your prompts. So when AI first comes out and everyone talks about prompt engineers, I think we kind of know what they're talking about, particularly in these artistic kind of things. Limitations for most of these things are the fact that it is limited to 720p. So those of you not familiar with video sizes and terms, that's what the diagram's there for. So if you've got a 4K television at home, that 4K Ultra HD, that is 3,840 by 2,160 pixels, basically. Most things like your laptops and your HD TVs are 1920 by 1080 and up to the 2K. So we're a long way off being able to generate things that are going to look amazing on 4K, though they are coming, and they seem to be coming quite rapidly. Now, who's heard of Sora? Anyone heard of Sora? So Sora is OpenAI's text to video, and the video I'm about to show you dropped on the internet, and the internet exploded round about end of January, middle of February, because it was, okay, here we go, this is what's going to happen. So I'll play the video through and you'll see the prompt, and then you'll see the video. You'll also notice there's no audio on these, which we'll come to in a minute. So you start to get the idea of why people started to get very excited about what was coming from Sora. The big chat was then that Sora was going to be made available to the public in August 2024. So that came and that went. I had a little search yesterday, and it still seems to be, there was a chat around a December release date, but it doesn't seem to be coming quick enough. So for now, Runway seems to be the one that's taking over as in for you be able to use. But as far as public use of this, no one's got anywhere near it. But you can see why it could. People were getting excited. There's a guy in America called Tyler Perry who makes a lot of kind of straight to video, what used to be straight to DVD movies, but stuff that's straight to the internet. He stopped an investment of about £400 million into new studios because he'd saw this stuff and thought, why do we need to build a studio? We're going to be building everything in this kind of environment. So this particular one you're looking at now, the prompt was to, to create a Western kind of style looking thing. But again, we're still limited to the length of what's going off. One of also the big issues seems to be the repetition of a character. So let's say if we wanted to keep it simple, a short film about two guys that go to the pub, have a couple of drinks, they walk home, they get on the bus and they come home. Keeping those characters the same in AI-driven video is the issue at the moment. So actually having them to look and feel the same. They are getting places with some of the models. So this really is just to give you an idea of what everybody thought was coming. And as I say, it's not there yet. So we'll leave Sora behind in a second, but as I mentioned, there's no audio on those. And you'll hear video production companies and video experts a lot talk about that video is 2/3 audio. It's not just what you see, it's what you hear. So then when you have a video like this, which again is created by Sora, there's a company called 11 Labs, which we're going to talk a little bit more about now. And they actually took the video and AI generated the audio to go with it. So the reason that I want to leave Sora behind and move on to 11 Labs in particular is because with video being 2/3 audio, and want to be able to give you things that you can use, things that are available to you right now. So who has sat and recorded a video? Perhaps they've done it on their laptop, perhaps you've done it on a camera, maybe even if you're a video professional, you've forgotten.
Our frequently asked questions packages include up to 2 hours in our green screen studio here in Berkhamsted, 3 hours for a package with a teleprompter, which is plenty of time for you to have a couple of goes at each of your questions and allow for stuff.
Or you're just in a position where you haven't got the budget,
believe me, they happen
got
to
the
the
time
very best
to
of
do
us. And if you're anything like me,
setup and
you'll
get
have
all the
enough stuff up
microphones
for a
up.
complimentary.
Well, to your rescue comes Adobe. Adobe are going to get mentioned quite a lot because they have been doing a lot with AI and also with AI-driven content and partnering with people like Sora and Pixar and Runway. But for this is something that's been around quite a while, actually. It's Adobe Podcast, and it's an enhanced speech. So basically, you would take your audio, pop it up onto their website. In fact, I don't know why might as well just press play and show you. So this is the UI on the website. We've got no files up there yet. So that clip that I've just played you, we simply take that clip, we drop it up onto the cloud. And this is real time. This was recorded real time. That will in a second. And what it's going to give us is this slider here on the right-hand side. To see
our frequently asked questions packages include up to 2 hours in our green screen studio here in. Our frequently asked questions packages include up to 2 hours in our green screen studio here in.
This.
Our frequently asked questions packages include up to 2 hours in our green screen studio here in Berkhamsted.
And before this, there was
our frequently asked questions packages include up to 2 hours in our green screen studio here in Berkhamsted.
You have to just go back and shoot it again. There's a few little tweaks, or we'd have to pay a lot of money to send it off to someone who would treat the audio for us. This is now available actually in Premiere Pro itself, so not in the latest. I think it's 2 releases ago it came, and it's now sits inside the UI. So whereas with podcasts you have to send it to the cloud and back, this is available on your machine, and it works in a really
frequently asked question.
So basically, we just click the enhance, and again, there's a little slider there which we can change how we're affecting the clip, and it's with a couple of clicks and just playing around, you can see how far. A lot of the time, it's how far you can push it. It's a bit like color grading with things as well. How far you can push the color before it starts to look a bit
Our
strange.
frequently asked questions packages include up to 2 hours in our green screen studio here in Berkhamsted.
So
3
that's
hours
being
for a
done
package
in
with a
the
teleprompter.
application itself now. But if you've got an Adobe, you don't need to have the full Creative Suite or anything. If you've got an Adobe login, you can go and use Podcast. So even if you're just recording stuff in your home studio, run the audio through Podcast, because it makes a heck of a difference to, as you can hear on this laptop, but to people who are listening to your content, they're going to pay more attention to it just because you've taken time over treating that sound. The next thing I want to look at is Descript. Question.
Is this all self-hosted or is it all in the cloud?
So all the stuff that is text to prompt video is currently in the cloud. So the stuff that the Sora and the Runway and the Pixar. So Sora actually can't even get at the moment, but Runway, that's in the cloud. And Pixar is in the cloud. So text to generated video all sits in the cloud. And then your Adobe Podcast for the first treatment of the audio sits in the cloud, and the enhanced speech, which is the second part of it, that sits in the software currently. This is Descript. So Descript does all these things to video, and we're going to show a couple of them that I think you will find helpful. One of them is eye contact, which we'll come to. It will, as far as AI doing the editing for you, there's quite a lot of the software now that will take all the clips, all the ums and ahs out for you. So all the filler words. So in most of the professional video production software like Premiere Pro, Avid, and also Blackmagic's DaVinci Resolve, there is a thing which you can just press a button and it will take them all out in app. Going back to that question, this is a cloud-based software. It does it all in the software. So this will do translations, it will do transcriptions, it will do all sorts of that stuff. So we've got a couple of examples for you, and there's a lot of trainers that are using this, and a lot of people particularly are putting short form stuff onto social media. Michelle's nodding because have you used this, Michelle?
I have a YouTube channel, and I have a Descript account, which I use for all the transcription. When it works, I record through it.
Yeah.
When it doesn't work, I record through Zoom, but I then upload it into Descript for all the transcription.
Which is a really good point. So with a lot of these things, you don't have to record in them natively. So you can just upload the video file. So you can go and record it on something like Loom. Who's using Loom? Anyone else using Loom at the minute? Loom's an amazing one to go and look at because it has now got a capacity, which I must actually include in this presentation. I must put a slide in about Loom. So Loom, you can hit record, you can do a screen recording, you can have yourself in the little box, you can have yourself in a square box or a big box, but you can do all the screen recording, and then you can hit send, and you've got a link and you can send that straight to someone. Then in the box at the side, depending on what level of subscription you're on, it will transcribe the whole video for you, but then it will also summarize the whole video for you in AI. There's lots of different things that it will do. So I tend to use that for team members or with clients. If I'm delivering a video to a client, I'll record them a Loom video saying, hey, just want to let you know, this is what we've done and this is how we did it. And these are the things that I need back from you. And then not only do they get the video, they've got a transcript of it, and it saves me writing a long email. Yes, sir.
Is that an advantage over Otter? I use Otter AI.
Yes. So Otter AI records your meetings. Yes. So Loom does that, but more for documenting anything you want to just record a little demo of it. screen recording, but it's got very similar. There's quite a lot of crossover with these things. So I used Otter for a while. I'm now using Fathom for my meetings because I found the AI gave me a better description of the meetings afterwards. And with Fathom, you can click a button and you can tell it what kind of meeting it was, and it will give you. So if you were on a sales meeting, it'll put its sales AI head on and give you a thing. If it was a discovery call, it'll do that kind of thing. And they're all using very similar engines. We've found Descript, we've found this the best engine so far as getting the transcriptions correct. And we've tried a few. Let me just to give you a little idea of how the UI looks here. This is a video that was dropped into Descript, and then that is the translation that you see underneath that happens in not quite real time, but in a few seconds, depending on the length of the video, of course.
If you're recording, when you finish recording, it takes you into the editor screen and it processes it and you see it. If you've got something pre-recorded, you drop it in, the transcription comes up pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then you can actually use it to edit, which is a big thing that I use. I'm rubbish. So
you can edit in there. You could get it to do the editing for you. So let's say if you've got a 2-minute video in there and you want a 30-second clip for YouTube Shorts or Reels on Instagram, it will do that. It will add the captions for you as well. And then there's certain amounts of controllability around that for you to be able to deliver it. Another thing that this, for me, when I first saw it, was witchcraft. So I can demonstrate it better to you guys at home. But if I was sat here and I was reading the script off my screen all the way through the video, I never make eye contact with you. And it's a big thing that, I'm sure we all agree with learners, if you want to look, I'm looking around the room at you guys here. I keep trying to remember to look back at the cats. A long time since I've done a hybrid presentation, by the way. I keep trying to look and make sure I'm engaging with you as well. So on pre-recorded videos, we had a client who filmed a lot of their own videos, and they needed their ELT to record some videos for internal purposes, but it was about values awards, and they were all, I think that Derek's really good, and I really appreciate that Derek, so kind of reading it off a thing, and they were like, is there anything you can do with it? And as it happened, we were just looking at Descript, and I said, yes, of course, we can make sure their eyes
or consider herself to be important, but she's such a carer for other people, our clients and our teams. Or consider herself to be important, but she's such a carer for other people.
Yeah, see the difference? Now this one's definitely
our clients and our teams.
Here's a side-by-side look. So the left-hand side of the screen is what we were given. The right-hand screen is what Descript did. I will just play that one again for you.
People, our clients and our teams.
But we've just taken little segments of these obviously as a demonstration. But these were 2.5 minute videos. Honestly, you wouldn't have known. So we showed them to people because we were like, there's 3 of us in the office going, I mean, it's really good, but we know now. We need to give it to someone. We actually went on next door's office. Not to, can you just go and watch this video? What do you think? Yes.
In the second woman that was used there.
Yeah.
There appeared
clients and
I was there on the left hand as well, a forward movement of the head.
Yes.
And I was wondering whether that was real or
that is her movement. The other challenge we were given from a video point of view is when the client gave us those videos, which is why we hate people shooting where we don't generally edit anyone who shoots their own stuff, because it was like the files came through. I've shot them all on the same phone. Yes, but have you used the same camera? And that woman, she'd shot on the front camera and on the back camera, and on the back camera she'd shot it in 3 different settings. So for 5 different clips that she then wanted to just put together. So that I've not found an explanation to that.
I'm a bit concerned because in the military and the police training, teach personnel about eye movement and false explanations.
Yeah.
You know, when people are lying.
Yeah.
So now we've got with AI, it can alter the direction of the eye.
Yeah.
For politicians who are giving false statements,
Yeah.
or people in court. I'm just a little bit concerned about it.
So yeah, it's the all interesting points. These the answer I think for that one is it's pre-recorded. So it's a pre-recorded internal video for something that they just want
So you can go
to.
back to the original.
If you want, yeah, exactly, and with a click of a button. So it's a kind of thing you can turn it on and off, or like that you could have the two videos side by side. Say, which is actually we did put a side by side to run it past them to say. Because the ethical thing is a big can of worms in a lot of what we're talking about, and how
I'm concerned in the US that a lot of evidence is given via video.
Yeah.
Not necessarily real time.
Yeah, there's it won't be long, if not, and there may well already be those live versions of that out there. But I give you, if you think the visual things, I'll give you an example of something else that's going to probably make you even more concerned in just a second or two. I've left that up there just for no other reason. I'm not advocating, or neither am I affiliated to any of the products that I'm showing, but just to give you an idea on the pricing of it, because the first thing people go is, oh, how much is that, and how does that work? Right, we'll whip through 11 Labs because there's lots more to show you. 11 Labs is the all to do with audio. So the UI looks something like this, and it's basically text-to-speech generated video. Oh, what's on there? Hang on a minute. There we go. That should play now. Yeah. So you can choose your voice. There's lots of voices already preloaded. You might have noticed.
There is no greater harm than that of time wasted.
If you spend your whole life waiting for the storm, you'll never.
Nature is a mutable cloud, which is always a.
Just trust yourself. Then.
Never mistake motion for action.
So there's all different voices that you can pop in there. And it's literally, this is real time.
How far, how fast? The accelerated path of video and AI-generated content. The AI revolution, the fourth industrial.
Anybody recognize that voice?
How far, how fast? The accelerated path of video and AI-generated content. The AI revolution, the fourth industrial revolution, digital transformation. Call it what you will, or ask your nearest advanced language model for its.
That's right, it's this guy. Kevin, have you in your life ever uttered those words?
No.
Kevin has never uttered those words. You want to hear it again?
Yes.
Well, I'll let you hear it again, but I didn't like Kevin's performance, to be perfectly honest. I thought it needed a little bit more pizzazz. I thought it needed a little bit more attack.
How far, how fast? The accelerated path of video and AI-generated content. The AI revolution, the fourth industrial revolution, digital transformation. Call it what you will, or ask your nearest advanced language model for its take.
Right, a couple of things there, which I'll whiz through very quickly on before we get into the ethics, but perhaps the ethics is another conversation for another day. But basically, I took with Kevin's permission, of course, I took a section of a video that Kevin and I had recorded of him. I fed it in, and it only needed a minute or two, and then it generates that voice from there. Then, because I didn't like the delivery, I recorded me doing the line and said, I want him to say it like this, which is why I'll not get into again because I don't want to miss out on some of the other stuff we've got to get to. But it actually picked up. I was born in the north of England, and it picked up some of my flat vowels and put them onto Kevin. But that sort of thing can be tweaked. But this is where voiceover artists and actors are obviously, I would say, running scared, but they're out of work. Is the one thing to say, because it's so easy to generate and create that kind of thing with their permission. Yes, sir.
How close to real time can this be?
There is a model.
People not picking up questions online.
Oh, sorry, the questions. How far away is this text to speech from real time, or is how far away is changing my voice into someone else's from real time? Both. Okay. The text to speech, the thing that you saw there, I've not altered the recording there at all. So when it gets to the text and the prompt, that paragraph is generated in seconds because I've already fed Kevin's voice into it. The feeding of Kevin's voice into it, that took minutes as well. There are, I believe, models out there that are changing things in real-ish time and moving them towards. There's a lot of work being done, particularly in TV and broadcast, into translation and translation into many different languages. So you will go in and you'll hit on a video. There's a company that at the minute that's got a model that's the big thing that's often missing is the poetry of the language to match the same. They have trained something that is working incredibly well on that. They're called Paper Cup. That again is still, it's fast, but not as in I'm going to clone your live voice. That there is some stuff out there that is already working.
How far?
Let me just skip through. Again, and pricing model for that kind of thing, it is literally for next to nothing for what you're going to do. So particularly in training, if you're wanting to do stuff very quick, then that's something that's available to you. If you need to knock something that wants a professional voiceover, or you want it to be said in a different language, if you've got 4 or 5 slides of text, you can very easily just type those in and change the language.
So we could just feed in a script.
Exactly that. Pretty much all of this is text driven. So you drop the script in. So I'm going to blow your mind now with some of this stuff called Synthesia. There's two models to look at here actually. Synthesia is a piece of software which we're getting in. Well, it's cloud based that we've just started using quite a lot. We're repurposing some old training material for a client, and so we are using Descript to take the transcription of the previous training, tidy that language up, and then bring it into Synthesia. Now, Synthesia is an AI-driven video creator, which creates these AI avatars. Now, this is I'll play this through, and there should be no audio on it. This is the UI. So you can see it. So basically, you can build your slides, you can build your deck. So forget PowerPoint, forget Keynote, your presentation and everything will be built in here. You feed the script into it, and then let me just pick the UI. Oh, sorry. So the script sits down here in the text editor in the bottom, and then you built your slide here, and then here are your scenes on the left-hand side. So you just go from slide to slide. Once this video is generated, the avatar obviously moves. But we'll come to that in a little bit more detail in a couple of slides' time. Let me just whip through this. The other thing, or the big thing for L&D people, is the fact that this will translate your entire content at the click of a button. It is scary how quickly this is done, and to some decent accuracy, I am told. So the demonstration we've got for you here, we have.
Hello, in this video we are showing you the translation tool within Synthesia. Are you losing out on sales?
Just to point out, this is like a pre-viz. So this is a pre-render, if you like. Once you hit go on this avatar will move, and I'll give you a demonstration of that in a minute. But for the purposes of showing you this, so we've got a frequently asked questions package that we do for the video company, and there's 4 of the main points of why we think you should have a video production package from us.
Because customers don't understand your products or services.
That was just a very simple 2 slides, but I've got a friend who's French and he wanted it in French. So they're all the different languages you can use. So we've got in there, you've got Arabic and Armenian, there's all sorts. So we're clicking Spanish and French.
Hola, en este video te mostramos la herramienta de traducción de Synthesia. ¿Estás perdiendo ventas porque los clientes no entienden tus productos o servicios?
So notice the voice, but it's also the text as well.
Bonjour, dans cette
anything
vidéo,
you
nous vous
put
présentons
into it,
l'outil de
it
traduction
will
de Synthesia.
change. You can change the voices, you can change the
Vous perdez des ventes parce
avatars,
que vos clients ne
there's
comprennent pas
more
vos
avatars
produits
being
ou
added
services.
constantly. And if you don't like any of the avatars in there, then you can always go and create your own as well. So depending on what package you're on, you can film yourself as an avatar, which is what I did in this one of its competitor pieces of software, which is called HeyGen. HeyGen, exactly the same idea, just a different UI. So down here is where you've got your little editor of your scenes, your text and everything goes in here. This was taken from a 2-minute piece of video, I think it was, that we recorded in our green screen studio in Hertfordshire, then uploaded it to HeyGen, and then I had to record on a separate device. So on my iPhone, there's a script. Hello, my name's Ben Baldwin. I give you permission to use my likeness in HeyGen for my use and my use alone. So all the legal stuff.
Hi, I'm Benjamin, Ben's AI avatar, here to tell you about HeyGen. It's an AI video generator that assists generative AI to streamline your video creation process. It offers 120 plus AI avatars, 300 plus voices, and 300 plus templates for various use cases, including product marketing, sales outreach, and of course, learning and development.
Doesn't quite get my accent, so there's bits of tweaks and playing around with there, but that's the raw pretty much straight out the box. The one thing that people struggle with the video avatars is, well, they look a bit, oh, is it human? Isn't it? For me, it's a very simple get around. Hello, I'm Benjamin, Ben's AI avatar. Whenever you start a presentation with an AI avatar, tell your audience it is an AI avatar, or they miss the first 2 slides because they're going, is it? Isn't it? Then, of course, the beauty of that is,
Hallo, ich bin Benjamin, Bens KI-Avatar. Ich möchte Ihnen von HeyGen erzählen. Es ist ein KI-Videogenerator, der generative KI verwendet, Ihren Videoerstellungsprozess zu optimieren. Bietet über 120 KI-Avatare, über 300 Stimmen und über
I said how good they were good enough.
Can I just ask, what's going on with the hand gestures in there? Is it actually creating them in
yeah, so what it asks you to do when you record is to just act normally and perform, as you would keep your normal hand gestures. So sometimes they can be a little bit off-putting, but again, this would have been done in February. Already have seen advancements in it, and particularly in what they're now doing is, so HeyGen and Synthesia, and there's another one called Colossal, I think it is.
Colossal.
That's the one. Yeah, so they're the 3 big hitters at the minute, and most of them are now getting people into a studio. So for their biggest and best avatars, you're in a studio with lots of different cameras surrounding you. So rather than just one camera, so then they're starting to pick more up, and they're only going to get better.
Can I follow that, please? I was noticing the one thumb holding the right hand thumb holding the left hand thumb.
That might be me. It probably is just me. Yeah, I'd have to watch it again.
Okay, there's also something about the tongue, but
yes,
the hand thing is a really up to now. These are some of the best I've seen.
Yeah,
and every one, like the biggest sort of running technologies exhibition show, which is around March, April every year. All of them were the hands.
Yeah.
For me, that was the problem.
Yeah.
That was a giveaway. It took my eye like next year.
I think that's the other thing about saying they will get better, but it's also with you can go there, which is what we do in most of our stuff. We don't get the hands in it. I think I was a bit of a challenge for it because, as Kevin will tell you, I'm a very handsy. I'm like, don't stand next to me when I'm talking or doing a presentation because you'll get a whack. But yeah, totally agree.
Hallo.
And then again, costs. it's all down to seat base, and the client we're working with in a minute, they're on a, I think, 25 seat enterprise. So we've got everything we could possibly need in there, including if we wanted to build our own avatars. Keep trying to pump myself there, saying, well, I'll do it, because but I've not succeeded yet. The tongue is a thing where I think again, it's not being given enough data, as in it was only a 2-minute short video, and I think because it's moving between those words, I think if I went and did this again now with HeyGen, it would be better. Well, we've gone over. Am I all right going over slightly? We're all right at home. You'll just go if you're not interested. I won't know. I can't see everybody. This is the stuff that's really going to be nuts over the next 6 months, or particularly in the video world. This is Adobe Premiere Pro. This is Generative Extend. It's not necessarily what's the word, massively relevant to the L&D world, but it will be in some form sometime soon, which I think it'll be self-explanatory. When I play the video, the bottom track that you can see here, that is the original piece of video that we shot, and this is outside Wembley Stadium. And you'll see that at the end of it, if I'm right, this is that something comes into shot and it spoils my shot. So what I did was I then cut the bit out which spoiled the shot, and then as it does it, I'll explain what happened. So this is the first pass of the original video out the camera. Here comes the dude on the scooter, whizzes through my shot. Right, that's just ruined it, hasn't it? This is currently live in Adobe Premiere Pro in beta. So at the top video track there, I've cut the bit off where the guy goes scooter, and I'm now going to do what they call generative extend. This has to go to the cloud and it has to come back because the AI bit's been done. And this is 3 times speed. This is showing how it's done. So that second half of the clip that you're going to see now, yeah. So that's the before. And this is the after from there. So in my world, this is a great thing.
Sorry, was that extracting the bit on the scooter, or was that extending?
It extends the clip. So what I've done is, so the bottom clip is the original clip. The top clip is I've cut the scooter off, and what it's done is referred to the images that have come before it from where I hit the cut. Now, what was really interesting when we were doing this in the office this week is that we were doing stuff in these next couple of clips I'm going to show you, which are basically we're fixing. Oh, I nearly swore. I've got through the whole thing without swearing. We've fixed a couple of camera stuff ups, but when my guy went in to edit them, he cut them just after the stuff up had started, so it was still left a glitch. So you've got to get the glitch right. Let me just go through to these. 1 sec, original footage. Oh, it's missing this one. Oh, we've only got this one in here. I'll have to send you the other ones, or I'll find them afterwards. Right, we'll whiz through because we're running out anyway. Running out of time anyway. Or run out of time. Adobe Firefly. Anybody heard of Adobe Firefly? This is completely bonkers. They're already doing text to image. They're on beta. I've got a friend at Adobe. I'm hounding her every day to get me higher up the list, to get me access to it. And the original is text to image, and then it's text and image to video. So that's the text to image version of it, which is a man gives a presentation, a hotel conference room in front of a large audience. It's okay. If you look at some of the other stuff where people have spent a lot of more time crafting the prompts and talking about texture and light and feel, it gets a lot better. This is Adobe's Shiny Video on Firefly for video. So you can tell the camera kind of what to do. What I'll do is I'll stop this video in certain places. Oh, no, I won't, because I've just blown that. 1 second, sorry. what Adobe are very big on at the moment, so I'll just pause that so you can see the prompt. You can read that for yourself there. And this is an actual output generated from Firefly video model in under 2 minutes. What Adobe are very big on is, because their whole business model is based on creatives and helping creatives succeed, all the way, from Photoshop all the way through After Effects. So they are very much pushing these tools as helping the creative to extend clips, to fill gaps, that kind of thing. So imagine we'd done a shoot and we'd missed getting a couple of shots that were really important, or something that would just creatively help the edit. Within the software, you're going to be able to prompt and then fill the gap with it. And again, some of that's already in testing and in beta. This is the stuff that's going to change. From a L&D point of view, what's happening a lot, what started to happen, particularly on the text to photo with Firefly, and the same with text to video, is this creating an asset on a green screen. So you can create that asset on a green screen, or on a green background rather, and then bring it into something else. But you can just search Adobe Firefly, go and have a look, and if you're anything like me, you'll lose the next week on YouTube looking at stuff. There's a guy that he took a photo of his son on Lake Tahoe, I think it was, in one of those unicorn rubber dinghy things, rubber rings, took the photo, popped it into Firefly, said, "Oh, now create the drone shot of pulling out from," and it starts, and it looks slightly animated, but it's incredible. So I think the anime and the animation kind of things for this will come a lot quicker than realistic looking video. And that is how far and how fast the conclusion. Not as fast, in my opinion, not as fast as people thought was going to happen when Sora hit the internet in February. And as I said, it's still not there. But there's some brilliant stuff out there to help creators of learning development material, any kind of training stuff, and basically make your lives easier, make your jobs easier, and let you spend the time on the content and how you're going to engage and how you're going to educate your viewer, rather than having to think about all the nuts and bolts that go with it.
I've got to ask a question. Have we seen the end of the training instructor?
It's a really interesting thing. For me, my opinion is, which might not be very popular, is if your training doesn't need a personality, probably. Reason being, when we were at SEDMA in February, and this is 110, 120 people in the room, most of them trainers, or at least, content creators. And when we talked about the translation in Synthesia and in HeyGen, I posed the room, well, you guys always want it to be absolutely perfect. So someone's going to have to go through, because it's not just about translation, it's about transcript, it's about translation, it's about localization as well. So just translating into Spanish is no good for Latam Spanish, because the words are slightly different, the inclinations, all that kind of stuff. But the general consensus in the room was that we need to get the content out there, and we need to get it into these different territories. So 80% is better than nothing. Done is better than perfect. And that's why I think it will succeed, and it might just move them away from. So if it doesn't need a personality, and if it doesn't need lots of questions afterwards. So if you're on a 5-day presenter-led course, obviously a big part of that is you've got the knowledge there in the room or in the Zoom room to dive in and tweak, and like you were saying, how's that? And what about the mouth? And how about that kind of thing? Well, the AI can't do that. So I think, but the shorter form or a basic, like, we can't at the minute, as in, yeah. But the other thing to point out is that those models are already coming. So HeyGen and Synthesia have already got, they're already building models where the video generated avatar, that's the word I was trying to get out, where the avatar can be used as a chatbot. So you can have the conversation with the chatbot, rather than just having the conversation with the text chatbot in the room. But I'm interested in what everyone else's take on that is. Just before any other questions, if you've got any questions for me, that's my email address there. Always happy to engage in conversation around this sort of thing, because I learn from you guys. Yes.
Very good communicators get eye contact. Problem with a trainer in a large room is you can't give eye contact to individuals, whereas where with generative AI, you can look at the eye contacts and you're honing in on each individual viewer, and you can, if you like, have a personalized video for each person.
Yeah, I think the thing, but if you're in the room, and if I'm not here, which I apologize, I've probably not looked at you, dear people at home, as much as I should have done. But I use the example now. I mean, I keep looking away a little bit, but if I keep talking to you here, I'm engaging you, and you're presumably more engaged with me now because I'm talking directly to the camera. So when I have calls and discovery calls and calls with client in my office, I've actually got a prompter in front of me, so with a camera behind it, and I use that camera, so I'm always looking at whoever I'm talking to. Well, so's the AI avatar. It doesn't matter whether it's a human here. So I take your point in the room, and the AI won't be able to replace that, I don't think, because it's but on here.
No, that's what I'm saying. Online, you can actually engage.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yes.
With the individual person.
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah.
Except for your own avatar, there wasn't very much of sound and vision together in this presentation. You want to say some more about that? Yeah, so I can, the content I'm working on at the moment, I can't share with you, which is kind of why. So what I can do is, once I've been given the okay, I will gladly share you a full video of how it looks and how it is from start to finish in short form. So we've just recreated a 3-hour course. We're in the middle of repurposing 48 hours worth of training material. And the whole reason behind repurposing it from where it is now is that once we've done that, if anything project name changes or the company gets acquired or anything like that, then all of a sudden it's a quick rebrand. So the course we've just done, which is 2-3 hours, is that we didn't like the voice. Got halfway through it, they didn't like the voice. Just click a button and we change the voice. It's done. If we don't like what they're wearing, or we don't like the look of the avatar, we just change the avatar. I know someone who works in training who, in the particular country that they have some training for, they won't trust the trainer unless it looks like them. Well, we just change out the avatar and we put the avatar that looks like that person, looks like that race, looks like that country, whatever it is. It's kind of, and then you flip it around. Let's say all of a sudden you need to onboard it if you're a SaaS based service, and your ace crack sales team managed to land that awesome client in Azerbaijan, and you're like, well, we've never ever done anything in Azerbaijan. Click of a button, all your training's been turned into, is it Azerbaijani? Yeah, I might pick France next time. Yeah, cool. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you for staying on. Sorry I ran over.
Brilliant talk.
Thank you. Thank you.